Good morning. Today I'm going to cycle to Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes? Why the hell would I go there? Well, I'm actually want to be in London tomorrow for the Rejoin march. Yeah, beautiful countryside of Derbyshire. Looks as if this road has just crumbled away. Walking, it's all very nice, but I didn't choose the gravel option when I planned the route. Okay, so people might say, why are you going to a Rejoin march? Do you not respect the will of the people? Well, A, why should I respect it? I was not allowed to vote in it. B, the will of the people was not defined. Like the Brexit deal we have got is not a Brexit deal most people voted for, because everyone was voting for different reasons. Some were voting because they didn't like austerity, still have got austerity. Some voted because they wanted lower energy prices, lower food prices. We now have got higher energy prices and higher food prices. Some voted to get people like myself to leave the UK. Well, I now have got a British passport, so I now can vote once back in again. Some people voted for the NHS. The NHS is on its knees as a result of Tory policies. So you're not included in the will of the people. The will of the people is not defined. There is no will of the people. There's no buy-in. In all those years of Brexit, no one has yet given me one tangible benefit of it. If there's no benefits, there's no buy-in. So we are in Buxton, just opposite the Opera House, and I'm just asking some people having a coffee what they think about Brexit.
I really think we should have stayed in. I voted to remain. I don't think we should have come out at all. I think it's been a big mistake.
Okay, and you?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Really,
okay.
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So we're finally in Leicester. Absolutely knackered, but we still have got 91k to go. Onwards and upwards. Northampton next. 60k to go to Milton Keynes. Arrived late at the Premier Inn last night, about 9 PM. Bloody mudguard disintegrated. So here we are, we made it. Looks like it's going to be a big one again. Haven't missed one yet since 2016.
Representing Generation Z. Woo! Say, I want to be able to work, travel and study across Europe and experience culture freely. I want a future not of segregation and isolation, but of unity and togetherness. I want to be a part of something bigger.
This has been bad for Europe, it has been bad for our economy, and it has been a disaster for the climate crisis. But more than anything, Brexit is hitting the poorest and the most vulnerable in our country the hardest. We and they as a country were lied to. The problem has never been migration. The problem has never been Europeans. The problem has always been people like our Prime Minister flying around in his private jet, mocking those in poverty beneath him. The problem has been the super rich hoarding their money in tax havens, and we need to speak this loudly and we need to speak it clearly. We are better off in Europe.
I've learned a lot in the last 7 years. There's this idea that Remainers think we all know everything. I didn't. I had no idea how Brexit would affect Northern Ireland. I didn't understand austerity, regional inequality, two major factors behind the desperation that led to the Brexit vote in the first place. I grew up with this naive idea that all our politicians were trying to help us. But Brexit opened my eyes. Because in 2018, the government's own official experts, it was leaked documents that showed that no matter what version of Brexit they negotiated, it would make us poor. And that's how Brexit really broke UK politics, because our politicians, they're not experts, they're not economists. Boris Johnson studied believe that they know better. So by going ahead with it, they're deliberately hurting a population that has been through 10 years of austerity already. That's what broke British politics.
Hey!
This idea that it's okay to deliberately hurt your own people. And they're only able to do this because of our ridiculous voting system that gives majority control to a party with only a minority of the vote.
Boris Johnson's ruinous Brexit delivered the worst of all worlds. It's given us an unfair, unlevel playing field, free for imports for anywhere in the world to come in here, but our exporters face pettifogging bureaucracy and costly custom checks. How can that make us great again? Even Jacob Rees-Mogg confirmed this when he said, border checks are an act of self-harm. They increase costs. Free trade is hugely beneficial to consumers. Well, Jacob, we lost our free trade with Brexit. And we're now the biggest dumping ground in the world. Every day in Brexit land, we sink deeper and deeper into irrelevance and food insecurity, falling to rely on the rest of the world to feed us. This is intolerable.
As a rich. And you know the reason why. The reason is very simple. In contradiction to the Tory leadership today, that is governing is a big word, this country, Winston Churchill, he looked to Britain from the outside world, while they are looking to Britain from Britain. And he knew, Winston Churchill, that in the world of tomorrow, only the sovereignty of this great nation can be defended together in the European family, in European unity.
Yeah.
We feel that we have...
And here's the thing about Horizon. Horizon is the world's multinational program, right? Just hosted by the EU. So pretty much every country in the world takes part in it. But it is the EU countries and the associated countries that run the projects. And I think finally this government have got it through to their skull when New Zealand joined as an associate member. The humiliation was intense. But we're there now, we've landed it, we're going to build on it, and Erasmus is next.
Yay!
Is a middle-class obsession of villa owners and bikers who wanted to run a bar in the Med. He couldn't be more wrong. On average, 79% of us are working age and below. We are young, old, rich, poor, professional, single mothers, artists, musicians, retirees. The fact is, we are as diverse as the people across these 4 nations. However, that is changing because the privilege of moving to an EU country or working there is now only an option for the privileged few. I'm originally from the Rhondda Valleys in South Wales, and without freedom of movement, very few, if anyone, from my family or community could do what I did. If you're wealthy, it's not a problem. But if you're a low-income worker, a pensioner on a state pension, or a student wanting a gap year, forget it. The freedom of just packing a suitcase, finding somewhere to stay, looking for a job, experiencing another culture, that dream has gone. However, it's only gone for British people. 450 million Europeans, no matter their income, background or social class, have those opportunities in 31 countries. Yet our own government celebrated and cheered, stripping those rights from us, putting only us at a disadvantage to all our European neighbours. My colleagues and I.
Later that evening I cycled back to Euston, got on the train to Manchester, which was obviously 1 hour late. And I cycled back home from Manchester Station in the pouring rain, as expected, it being Manchester. What did I learn from cycling from Moseley to London? That we live in a brilliant, beautiful country, full of beautiful people. That we even have got some good cycling infrastructure in some of the cities that I cycled through, not in all of them though. But that our beautiful country is being ravaged by the Brexit ideology and our current government, with public services crumbling, with our NHS crumbling, with Brexit not even being implemented yet because our imports are not being controlled currently from the EU. Let's work towards Brexit, and the Tories will be history soon.